The RV Show USA is brought to you by Flagstaff, Rockwood, building better RVs, making smarter RVers.
So when you're driving down the road, do you happen to notice every RV? I do. And I see so many of them that are kind of, squatting down low, or they just like, you ever notice that? Something kind of seems off. It's just not right. Well, the truck could be, as I said, squatting down, and it looks like it's too heavy in the rear. Whether it's too heavy in the rear or not heavy enough in the rear, either one of them is dangerous. And to visit with us about exactly what we can do to keep our family safe while we are towing, we have Diana from PPL Motorhomes on with us. Hi, Diana.
Hey, guys.
I'm glad you are here. Now, we've talked a lot about safety and being safe when you're towing. What kind of things have you seen about, towing safety that make it such an important subject for us to talk about?
At PPL, I have people who come in, first-time RV buyers, and they're so excited because they drive a little SUV, and it's got that little square receiver hitch. They truly believe that they can pull a 30-foot travel trailer with just that. And it's mind-blowing for them when we go, you can't do that. It's not going to be big enough. They think they can, because they bought that when they bought that little SUV, they can pull anything they want. And I guess there's always that story that just blows your mind. We had a guy with a small SUV, and he was buying a larger towable, a travel trailer, about a 26-foot. They were way out of proportion. They should not be together at all, overweighted. And the trailer was too high. So he had taken 6x6 wood and tried to create his own extension to his receiver hitch.
Oh, no.
You just see everything. And that's why it's so important that we educate the consumer. And I'm so excited to have your guest tonight.
Well, and that's where we're going. So let me jump in here, folks. We asked people a couple of weeks ago, what would you like to hear us talk about? And towing safety was a big one. And so Diana, through PPL, she knows everybody in the industry, and she has a man on. We have him right now. His name is Rick Cower, and he works for a company called Blue Ox. And ain't nobody knows any more about towing than Rick Cower does. So welcome to the show, Rick.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate you having me on this evening. Good evening to everybody.
Well, I understand you've been in the industry for a long time. You know everything about towing. What are the issues that RVers have when they're towing that can get us into trouble if we're not careful?
Boy, there's a lot to know when you get into it. And, something that we see a lot in the industry is people are misconceived, as Diana was saying a little bit ago. They show up with this SUV and want to buy a big travel trailer and go down the road. But, it's knowing what the capabilities of that vehicle are. It's super important. And a lot of people are misled. They see an advertisement for something and, a particular pickup can pull 12,900 pounds of weight. But in reality that's a specialty pickup. Most of the stuff you find on the lot is not going to do that. So, it's knowing where to find that information and what your capabilities are with your particular vehicle that you have.
And so even if you're not overweight, your RV is you got the right RV matched to your vehicle. A lot of times you're squatting down in the back and we hear all this talk about a weight distribution hitch. What is a weight distribution hitch? Why do we need one?
Well, a weight distribution hitch transfers the tongue weight or the static weight of that tongue onto the rear axle and the front axle of the tow vehicle, but also transfers that weight back onto the frame of the trailer and to the axles on the trailer so that you can get an even load. It has generally bars or spring bars in there that lift and level that load so you get a good pull going down the road. So it's about moving weight. If you leave all of that weight sitting on the back of your tow vehicle, chances are, as you were saying at the beginning, you're going to be dipping down in the rear and the front end's going to be popping a wheelie. It's going to be impossible to steer that at any kind of freeway speed.
Are we able to tow more weight, Rick, with a weight distribution hitch? I mean, can we cheat and tow more weight or not really? What is it? I know you said it helps level out the ride, and that's super important, but we're also able to tow more weight or not?
No, that's kind of a myth by people. So the hitch on the tow vehicle is rated, if it's rated at 1,000 pounds of tongue weight without weight distribution and 1,200 pounds with weight distribution, that's the maximum that that hitch can hold. So, whatever the specific is on that tow vehicle, if it's 7,500 pounds of tow capacity, you do not want to exceed that. Weight distribution will not allow you to exceed that.
Who needs a weight distribution hitch? I mean, how do I know if I need one?
Everybody towed a travel trailer. It goes a little bit beyond
and they need to go to PPL to buy their Blue Ox, right?
That's right. It goes a little bit beyond what that is that you're looking at, right? Because a lot of the weight distribution hitches that are out there today, the things that we build have sway prevention built into them. And whether it's a single axle small trailer or a large 2-axle or 3-axle trailer, they all have characteristics of moving around as they go down the road. And the better the product that you put on there, the easier it's going to handle for you as you tow it down the highway. The higher profile vehicles like semis, things like that, when they pass you, they take the wind out of the back of that trailer, and it doesn't matter what it is. It can move it around. So you want to have that, whether you're pulling a 16-foot with a Chevy Colorado or a 32-foot with a 3/4 ton Ford, you want to make sure that you have the right product on there to have a great experience.
What are some of the things that can happen if you don't, describe what happens if you have to, if you don't have your weight distribution hitch and you are squatting low in the back, you got to all of a sudden slam on the brakes. I've seen videos on YouTube and they are not pretty. What can happen?
They are not pretty, and I've seen many of them myself. You can lose control of the vehicle very easily. And what I mean by that is getting in a hard braking situation, you lose complete control. First off, you have your front axle is unloaded when you're in that situation. It's going to be a ton harder to steer it and keep it going straight. And the natural reaction for, I think, most drivers is to hit the skids. And sometimes that just hinders everything. That makes it a worse situation. And bad things can happen. You lose control and you can go into a slide, and we don't want to see that. We want to make sure everybody's safe out there and traveling and having fun.
I have a question for Diana. Diana, I know that you guys sell used RVs exclusively. Do many people, when they sell their RV that have a weight distribution hitch, include that with a sale? I would think that they would.
No, they don't. We
Really?
actually discourage that. And the reason we discourage it is you don't know, or what I've seen before, and I've seen several things that have happened over the years, you don't know how a person used that distribution hitch or that fifth wheel hitch or any of the others. You don't know if it has been compromised in some way. So buying a used hitch, and I've heard it from people from Blue Ox and a lot of the other manufacturers out there, it's not just so they can sell a new product. It's because it's really possibly not as safe for them. That's it.
Doesn't surprise me. I didn't even think of that. That's really great information. Now, Rick, I know other people besides Blue Ox makes a weight distribution hitch. Why Blue Ox? How do I know what a good one is and a not good weight distribution hitch?
Well, there's a lot of competitors out in the marketplace. There's absolutely no doubt about it. We pride ourselves in building premium products. We always have. Since 1980, our company has built top-of-the-line product built in the USA. And, there's some very great comparative hitches out in the marketplace. But I'm going to say this, is you're investing a lot in your tow vehicle. You're investing a lot in your travel trailer. Why would you want to put the least expensive hitch on the marketplace in between the two to connect them and expect a good experience out of that? So, we build good quality products that we know work, and we do extensive testing on all of them.
And Diana, I would imagine that I know for a fact the most dangerous part of any camping trip is the getting there and coming back. It's not once you're in the campground. It's when you're going or coming, and to pinch pennies on something that could save your family's life.
It
doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, everybody ought to have one, or at least look into it.
Well, and you know, the thing about it is you have these people who don't think they need any type of a sway control. And it's so critical. I was unfortunate enough to be on I-10 out of Fredericksburg here in Texas, coming back in, and about 5 vehicles ahead of us, a trailer, the wind coming over the mountain there, a truck going by, the trailer and the truck flipped.
Oh.
I don't know. It was a miracle that the man and wife and their puppy dog walked away. The trailer flipped and totally collapsed. It was just a pile of rubbish at that point. But had they had the right hitch, I think it could have saved their lives. I mean, or, you know, the life of their trailer. They were blessed. They were.
Oh, that's scary.
It's.
I know, Rick, I know that why questions are not, easy to answer sometimes, but why don't, when people buy a new RV, it seems like to me a lot of dealers don't sell a weight distribution hitch when they should be. I mean,
that's just a crazy question, and it does happen. Or the other scenario is they sell a entry level or throw in an entry level weight distribution hitch just to get the consumer going. And what we see a lot out there is it's not the appropriate hitch size for what they need. And for years and years, a rule of thumb has been, we'll just, when the dealer goes to a show, we'll just take all 1,000-pound hitches. Well, there's a reason that Blue Ox, as an example, in our Sway Pro line, we build a 350, 550, 750, 1,000, 1,500, and 2,000-pound Sway Pro. The reason being is because those bars are specific to the tongue weight of what that trailer would be when it's loaded. And, a lot of times a dealer will put 1,000-pound hitch on something that really only requires a 500 or 600. Or they'll put 1,000-pound hitch on something that requires that 1,300 or 1,400 pounds of tongue weight. So there's, that's something that we educate hard on as a company, with the dealers, with our distributors, and with our consumer, is that tongue needs to be weighed on that trailer after that trailer's loaded, so that you have the appropriate setup on there and you travel trouble free. That's what it's about at the end of the day.
We want to travel trouble free, but
absolutely,
Diana, when if I don't have this kind of a hitch and I have questions, I guess y'all sell Blue Ox. That's probably how you know Rick. Can I call up your parts department, tell them what I've got, and they can tell? Because it sounds like there's different sizes depending upon what I've got, what I'm towing, and all that. Can I just call and?
You can talk to our service department. They're happy to help you. And remember, just because you have that Ford or that Chevy and it's a certain size truck doesn't mean that each one's created the same. So our team will say, hey, you need to check and see what your truck will pull also. But it's so important to pay attention and make sure you've got the right size, and we're happy to help you do that.
Well, what price range? What price range are we talking about? Kind of just give me a ballpark, Rick, if you would.
Weight distribution hitches, the price range $400 all the way up to $800.
Oh, that's less than I would have thought.
Uh-huh.
That's not bad at all.
It's not that big of investment.
Yeah. And so is it something that I can put on myself? I have watched a couple of videos. It looks like it's no big deal. I mean, you got to do it right, but it looks like you set it up once and you're pretty much in business.
Well, we would rather that a professional set it up, although we do have a lot of, do-it-yourself type people out there. Can it be done? Yeah. We've really gotten involved in that, and I'm glad you touched on that. We have some guys out there that I want to say influencers to help us with those things. They've posted videos on YouTube of how to set up our product. They've taken them across the scales to show what the differences are, that sort of thing. So can it be done? Yes, but not for the novice. It's someone that has some education in mechanics in order to be able to do that.
It's okay. Go to blueox.com, folks, if you want to connect with smart people and look how these things work. Because if you don't know, it's like, I'll be I mean, it's very impressive. And Diana, I imagine you through PPL Motorhomes, you sell a lot of those things, don't you?
We do. And Rick just mentioned something about the weight. He said after the vehicle's loaded, you'd be surprised the number of people who don't realize that they've got the weight of this trailer. But when they start putting their cooking equipment in and all of their gadgets and the case of water, the case of beer, whatever it is, it's going to go in there. They've put 1,000 pounds into that vehicle, easy.
Wow.
And they don't think about that. They're only thinking about, well, the manufacturer said this is the weight. So consider that too when you're looking at these.
This is all great information. Listen, thank you very much for joining us. And Rick, I appreciate it. I'd like to have you back on. I'm sure we're going to have some questions come in. So if we can get you back on in a few weeks, that'd be great. What do you think?
I would love to come back on. Thanks for the invite.
Well, you bet. Thanks for being with us. We had a lot of people said they like your sign back behind you in this.
All right. Well, I get a lot of compliments on that. Hey,
right.
living the dream.
That's right.
We're going to send everybody to blueox.com. And Diana, thank you for getting Rick to join us. I appreciate it very much.
Rick, we appreciate Jeff Stickford from Blue Ox was the one who said, hey, Rick is the guy to talk to about this. And we do thank you for being here. And come visit us at PPL in Houston.
Diana,
sure
Rick, you need to go see Diana at PPL. You're going to be,
I will
it's
do
a
that.
fabulous store. You're going to really like Diana. And Diana, have we got, maybe David can put the link up to, on your, to your website here in the comments. I don't know.
We'll ask him to do that. Hey, by the way, guys, I just have to say I have to toot our horn. Guess what tomorrow is?
What is it, Diana?
PPL's 49th birthday.
That is wonderful.
Look at that. Well, happy birthday. You started working there when you were, what, 6?
Oh, yeah, right. I started there 41 years ago. Yes.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Awesome.
Hey,
all right. Well, you have a great day, Rick. Thank you so much. And we'll talk to you guys again.
Too, Ellen. Thanks, Diana.
Have
Have a great night.
Y'all take care.